Now let's look at some other collaborative partnerships. Local social service agencies provide another valuable collaborative opportunity. Public libraries could partner with local social service agencies or organizations in charge of local workforce development programs to offer resources and programming on topics such as job searching, resume building, healthy eating on a budget, how to manage finances, those kinds of things. An example of such a partnership is illustrated in the picture on this slide. It's a photo of the 2013 opening of the Free Career Center at the San Diego Central Library downtown. The center was developed as a result of a partnership between the library, the San Diego Workforce Partnership, and the Bank of America. Collaborations between libraries and other nonprofits are quite common. One example might be a partnership between the library and Habitat for Humanity, an organization that does a community build of houses for low-income families, and often these families have toddlers or school-aged children. The local library in this case could partner with Habitat to supply each new house with a bookcase, perhaps donated by a local store, filled with children's books. These could be books the library has withdrawn or books that may be donated for a library book sale. Additionally, the library could issue library cards for the whole family if they don't currently have cards. Another idea for working with nonprofits would be promoting at local soup kitchens certain targeted library programming, such as the ones mentioned in the section on partnership with social service agencies. So these are just two of many such partnership opportunities to consider. Working with local health agencies, some libraries sponsor blood pressure clinics and flu shot clinics. And any of us who have worked in public libraries know that they're often a popular location for those who have mental health issues or are homeless or are impoverished. Now there's a good reason for this. Public libraries offer free resources and provide a place to stay warm, dry, and safe. Comfortable furniture and bathrooms are available. Unless an individual is causing a problem, he or she is not going to be asked to leave. Public libraries are thus different from private premises like retail establishments where loitering is prohibited. However, these individuals may present challenges to the library, particularly for library staff who are not trained on how to handle behavioral and mental health issues. So in a very interesting partnership, the Pima County Public Library in Arizona, in partnership with the Pima County Health Department, hired a number of public health nurses to staff a newly created library nurse program. These nurses work in various branches of the Pima County Public Library, and they provide assistance and they help address the issues of this specific user population. The public health nurses train library staff on how to recognize and address behavioral and mental health issues. Furthermore, the library and the health department are partnering with the University of Arizona to involve nursing students from the university in the program. And these students conduct community assessments and offer health education classes as well as other services. So clearly, this is a partnership that has been a win-win for all involved. Another one is city school districts. So partnerships with city schools are a natural fit for public libraries, and many of these relationships already exist. If your library does not presently have such a partnership, you should definitely pursue it. The opportunities are endless, including working with local schools to promote makerspaces, STEM programs, and much more. And anyone who's from a local public library probably knows about a lot of these already. Now, as we discussed in week 1, an early philosophy of public libraries that still holds true today is the belief that getting children into libraries at a young age will help them become lifelong readers and library users. So an excellent example of a public library working with local organizations to meet a community need and thus demonstrate the library's worth is that of the Detroit Public Library. The library partnered with several city organizations, including the Detroit Public Schools Community District and the Detroit Public Schools Foundation, to establish 97 little free libraries outside of every public school in Detroit. Now, you might be familiar with these little free libraries. This concept originated back in 2009 when a Wisconsin man chose to honor his mother, who was a former school teacher who loved reading, by building a small model of a one-room schoolhouse. And he filled the model with books, and he placed it on the front lawn of his home, accompanied by a sign that read, "Free books." He went on to build several other models to share with friends. And before long, this concept took off, and it's now being adopted in countries around the world, not just here, but all over the world. And there's even a little free library organization from which you can buy and build your own kit. But getting back to the Detroit partnership, this initiative was born out of a response to the severe economic downturn experienced in Detroit a few years ago. Although the city is now recovering, public and school libraries were deeply impacted. Many public libraries were forced to reduce their hours or shut down. Likewise, school libraries could not afford to buy new books for their collections. Therefore, these little free libraries were created to provide the children of Detroit with free and easy access to books whenever they wanted them. And this is a superb example of a library system partnering with other local organizations to bring value to its community. All right, so local businesses. Now, local businesses can also prove to be valuable partners for libraries. And a good example of this is a partnership with local real estate offices that often present new buyers moving into the area with a welcome to the community kind of packet. Information on public libraries can be included in these packets. And another example of partnering with local businesses could be a collaboration with a local wellness center to host yoga or Tai Chi classes in the library. If you have business resources and/or business-related databases in your library, make local businesses aware of these resources. Business-related publications and databases are often quite helpful to small business owners, and unfortunately, libraries often do a very poor job of marketing these types of resources to the community. All right, arts organizations. Libraries and the arts go hand in hand. Earlier in this course, I mentioned that the Regional Theater, at which I was previously a trustee, offers children's productions. So how could our local county library have developed a partnership with the theater regarding these children's productions? Now, I can think of two ways that would have proven beneficial to both the library and the theater. First, preview the plays at the library. And this would involve bringing in the play's actors in order to stage a short, like 10-minute segment of the play in the children's room at the library. And this would benefit not only the library, but also the theater by building an awareness of the upcoming play with a prime target audience. And then have library resources at the theater. So during the play, the library could have a table with read more about it information related to the play, as well as have someone on hand to sign children up for library cards. So just a couple of examples there. And then there's membership in local civic organizations. One way to build relationships with a variety of different community organizations is to join the local Chamber of Commerce or another similar civic organization. Attending monthly meetings is a perfect way to naturally start building relationships across the community. And it's also an opportunity for others to learn about the library. Also, try to get on the speaker's circuit for local civic organizations and target your talk to the specific membership interests of each organization. All right, so let's look at some community partnership best practices. There are a few best practices to follow when seeking out and building community partnerships. So first, you want to identify and target the most appropriate agencies or organizations. So as we discussed with social media, it's impossible to be everywhere. And it's also counterproductive to try to establish very numerous partnerships, all these numerous partnerships, because really library resources will be spread too thin to have any probable impact. Ensure that the partnership is mutually beneficial. Partnerships infer collaboration and joint interest. When pursuing a partnership, there should be a stated benefit for both parties. In the case of libraries, we often equate partnerships with sharing our resources and highlighting our value to the community. However, if your library approaches another organization for a partnership opportunity, do make sure that there'll be a beneficial outcome for that other organization. And a good example of this is the one I just cited, the possible partnership with a library and the local theater staging children's plays. They both benefit from that partnership. Appointed designated representative. So appoint a designated representative to approach organizations and agencies about partnerships. Individuals serving this function may vary depending on the particular partnership opportunity. And then set guidelines. If your library is undertaking a partnership with another organization, be very clear about the responsibilities and roles of each organization in the partnership. And a little later in this lecture, I'll give an example of why that is so important.